that blind piece of shit. I hate that guy. But sorry, that's off tangent of Hunter Wendelstedt. I'm angry.
Hit it.
Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. My name is Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And today is technically a Wednesday, so we're recording a day earlier. So if something interesting happens on Thursday, it's not our fault.
You know why? Something will happen tomorrow.
It always happens. And at least it'll be interesting, right? But we look forward to talking baseball again. Chris, I've missed you. You've been okay?
It's been a while. I literally haven't seen you that much.
I know, it's strange. We usually see each other multiple times a week, and not recently.
But here
Why
we are.
don't you love me anymore?
We're here to deliver. God damn it.
You're ignoring the question.
I did.
All right, so we're gonna talk about a few things this week. 3 up, 3 down is how we're gonna lead off. We're gonna talk about how the MLB needs to get their umpires in check immediately. We're also going to do a season so far review, see where everybody stacks up, and then get into our series preview. So from here, Chris, last time we started off and we were depressed as hell.
I think it was like 2 in a row we did that.
Okay, I think it might be every other show. We're like,
We're not
hey guys,
depressed.
we're excited. Oh, this is
Yeah,
sucks. This is
let's
really
not
bad.
do
Okay,
that.
so let's start with the happy stuff. Let's do 3 up and 3 down. Let's go with the 3 up. What do you got, Chris?
What do we got? We're going to start with Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
So shout out Dan, because he would probably wrung my neck if I didn't shout this out. But thus far, so I've got 2 sets of stats. Just his normal stat line, 7 home runs, 12 steals, 1.043 OPS.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the fun one. He actually sent me this today. So through, we'll say they're age 22, excuse me, through 121 career games played.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Barry Bonds was 22.7 years old.
Okay.
Ellie, 22.2.
Okay.
I'll read each stat
Barry
one by
stat.
one.
All right.
Barry, 97 hits. Ellie, 114 hits.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Home runs, Barry 16, Ellie 20.
Mm-hmm.
Barry 38 stolen bases, Ellie 48 stolen bases.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Total bases by Barry 179, total by Ellie 204. OPS .728 for Bonds and a 767 OPS for Ellie. At this particular point, we're not talking full career. He's got a lot of work to do. However, he's on a pretty good trajectory.
Okay.
We're insinuating a lot.
I thought you were about to say so far he's better than Barry.
At this particular stage in their career.
I mean,
yes.
here's the deal. I hope that he takes steroids, balloons just like Barry did, and then just hits moon shots for the rest of his career. So I'm in.
I just needed to read that out because I thought that was important.
No, that's pretty cool. All right, so that's one. What are your
another
other 2?
one? Same shortstop as well. CJ Abrams. 6
playing really
homers,
well.
couple steals. He's got 4. Same OPS as Ellie, 1.043. He's hitting 316. The Nats are a little surprising. He's playing well, and he's the leadoff guy. He's been hitting. They're not wall scrapers either. They've been pretty bombs too. I don't know how tall he is, but he kind of gives Ellie vibes a little bit because he's pretty tall. Power came back for him. I feel cheated because I have a lot of guys that I want for this last one.
Yeah.
But I have to pick Jared Jones for my last 3 up. So, fun stat about him. Jared Jones now has 7 or more strikeouts in each of his first 4 career games.
That's great.
He is the 4th major leaguer since 1893, so 1893, to accomplish this feat. The others are Masahiro Tanaka, Strasburg, and Jose De Leon.
Okay.
I don't know about him very much,
okay,
but pretty solid quality, but overall cool. Doing the good things for the Pirates, keeping them afloat.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hey, the Pirates have quite the farm system too. You've got Skeens down there who
here's my bonus.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
I have from the scripture.
You have minor league? Okay,
Yes.
here we go.
Well, bonus.
The
Paul
scripture of
Skeens
Chris.
AAA update. 17 innings, which is pathetic, by the way. They're not like just not letting him throw.
So he's just throwing like 2 innings at a
3
time?
innings or something
that's
stupid.
wild.
34 strikeouts, 0.53 ERA, 0.88 whip. He's striking out 51.5% of the batters he's facing.
That's wild. I mean,
so up for multiple reasons. He's a stud. We want him called up. Figure it the hell out.
yeah. I mean, and also too, we talked about this already. He needs to start pitching in the pros before his arm falls off. So
might as well use him.
Yeah,
you only got so many bullets in that chamber.
Exactly.
So those are my 3 up. Hit me with what you.
All right, awesome. Those are good ones. And Ellie was on mine last time. That dude's so electric. I love watching.
He's still
that guy
playing
play.
well.
I love watching.
He's
going to
be up until he's not.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, I'm going to start off with Dylan Cease. The last 15 days, this guy has over 22 strikeouts, a 3-0 record, and only 5 total hits in 3 starts.
Okay.
So, dude's lighting it up. So, he's the ace they wanted. He's pitching out of his mind right now. Fuck, I wish we would have got him.
Right.
But dude's pitching really, really well.
If you knew this, that package would have
it would have been so much more. Yeah. Good
That's
Lord. Okay, this is a bit of a homer, but it's a surprise. Marcell Ozuna is playing out of his mind. I don't like it because I don't like him.
Hate the man,
but the ball player is on a hot streak. He leads he ties the league in home runs. Him and Trout both have 9. He leads the National League with 9. He's had 14 RBIs in the last 15 days, and he is second in the league OPS.
Okay.
Behind, guess who's behind? It's not Trout, but who's got the best OPS in the league?
I don't know.
Shohei.
Oh.
It's so Zuna's like 1.076 and Shohei's like 1.174. Like, so they're outrageous numbers right now, but the dude's been on a tear.
He is playing well. Hate the guy, but he's playing well.
But here's the deal. He's got the ugliest swing in baseball, but he hits it and it goes a mile. I just don't get it. But
I think Mike Trout hates him too because he hit a home run today, so he's now
okay. Good. All right. Good for Trout. There you go. And then the other thing is the Cleveland Guardians. They are in a 5-game heater right now. They are 8-2 in their last 10, and their run differentials plus 55. Like, they are murking people right now. So they're the hottest team in baseball. So I had to give that entire team a shout out.
Give them a shout out. That's
the Guardians are going to be a problem.
And I think that's the thing. Just a super quick aside is like it's not one guy.
No.
Right? Like it's just as a team, they're just solid.
Yeah.
They're doing everything right. They're pitching well. They got a good back to bullpen. They're hitting in good spots apparently. Like, yes, they have Jose Ramirez, but like without looking, I don't think he's having a ridiculous
He's
year.
not having a ridiculous season.
So
no.
again,
they're just
it's
consistent the whole way around. Yeah.
I like they're tough not to root for. Like whatever.
I don't disagree. I mean, they're new name is still hard. I mean, I called them the Indians when we talked about it earlier.
Ago.
So I have to continue to remind myself it's the Guardians, but it is what it is. But those are my 3 up. All right, so let's bring it down a little. 3 down. I'll start because you started the other one. Mine. There's 2 teams that I'm going to start with. Chicago White Sox.
I mean,
they're buried. They're going to be in the 3 down
they have
the
3
whole
wins.
year. 3 wins. 3. They're 1-9 in the last 10. They've lost 5 straight. This team's bad.
Pathetic what they're doing to that
It's
team.
very
what they've done.
You know what? I anticipated the Rockies and the A's. Both of those teams are outperforming them by
and that's not saying like you know what I mean that gives a new barometer of how bad can actually be.
Yeah, on this pace, they're 3-20, right? I think that's right.
As of right now,
that's. I mean, can they win 40 games?
What's it like a 15% of the season or something?
It's like, man, that's a bad team. That is a bad team. So, it sucks. My math is probably a little off, but I think as of right now, they will be they might have the worst record we've ever seen in baseball. I don't know what that record is. I'll have to look it up.
I have no idea what that
but
is.
Right, I bet they're on pace for the worst. I bet. Because I mean, their win percentage is like 0.19 something. Like it's really bad. Okay, other team, the Houston Astros.
Love this.
What is wrong with the Houston Astros? Man, they are last in their division, worst run differential. Like they are having a very, very slow. It's hard to even call it a slow start because you're always used to this team, figuring it the hell out. But I don't know. They're not pitching well. They're not hitting in spots. Like their big guy. I think Tucker's the only one who's actually doing okay. Well, I'll take that back. second baseman. Wow.
Altuve.
Yeah, Altuve. I
he's
think
having a nice
he's
year.
having a good year. I think Tucker's doing okay, but everyone else is just kind of meh. And it's just the team's just not doing what we're used to. So that's very interesting. And then my last 3 down is a player, Nolan Jones of the Rockies.
He's on the Rockies. Say no more.
Okay, hold on. But he's in the bottom 5 for qualified. So we're talking about at least, I think, 18 at-bats, I think. No, 18 games played. One of the two. So I made sure it was qualified, right?
Oh, yeah, he's okay. That's
So
fine.
he was
I don't know
so-
what makes you qualified or not. It's a certain amount of at-bats.
Yeah,
or something.
it changes right as the season progresses. I think it's a percentage of the highest or whatever. So of the qualified batters, he is bottom 5 in strikeouts. I think he's like second. Average and OBP. That dude can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. And it is, I mean, the Rockies are bad. And I don't remember Nolan Jones ever being a great player, but I also don't remember him being a dog shit player either. And that's where he is at. So those are my
Rockies stink.
Yeah, the Rockies are real bad, but they're not as bad as the White Sox somehow. So, anyways, those are my 3 down. Chris, what you got?
My first 3 down is Jordan Walker. And this is a literal down in a sense of he just got sent down to AAA.
Okay.
These few stats courtesy of Jay Hay from Baseball is Dead. He is batting 4 for 32 with 12 strikeouts versus fastballs. He's 1 for 17 against lefties. Oof. He was only batting like 155.
Yeah.
Just bad news.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I don't think it's good in St. Louis as a whole. Fan base isn't really bought in, but from a guy who is as heralded as Walker was supposed to be, it doesn't look good.
Bad news bears.
I know last year they sent him down around this time as well, but he was actually playing way better than he is whatever the hell this is. I hope he figures it out, but it's not promising for the guy.
155,
it's bad.
That's not good.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Another one, this is a very surprising one, is Corbin Carroll. And the reason that I call this out was because I saw oh man, I forgot his name. I'm going to look it up. Oh shit. So anyway, I saw the lineup come out and he was batting 7th. That was courtesy of Aaron Hughes. Remember our D-backs guy. Sorry. Completely forgot his name for a minute. Corbin Carroll's batting 7th in this lineup.
That's wild.
And it was like, okay, like what's the deal? And he's barely hitting over 200. He's only got 1 home run. Like he hit 25 last year.
Yeah.
So his power kind of went away or isn't there. There's supposedly some nagging shoulder concerns.
I don't even know where he's at on stolen bases.
I didn't look.
Okay.
But I'd say 5. I don't know. Make it up. He's definitely got a couple.
I remember looking, and I don't remember seeing his name. De La Cruz is like at 12.
Oh, he's definitely
Acuna's
not
at like
high.
at 10. Yeah, okay. Interesting.
He's got 8.
Oh, well, okay.
If he gets on base. But he's got a 593 OPS. He's only getting on base 32% of the time. He's just not playing well.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't really know. Like I knew it was like, okay, like slow start, whatever. But for them to drop him the 9th, like that just felt, or excuse me, 7th.
Yes, I mean 9th at least is like new leadoff, where 7th is just like, oh, you're a bad baseball player.
Just not a good start for Corbin. If he's hurt, I hope he gets fixed. I hope he gets the surgery. Even if you're out, it sucks. But
is this the impending sophomore slump?
It could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we see it happen quite often where rookies come in, they start on fire, and then you get enough tape on somebody and you can game plan around them, right? I wonder if that's what's happening.
I don't know. It's bad. That's a big drop.
That's a huge change for sure.
Like
but
for the team to even just say,
Yeah.
okay, you're 7th. But that's a down for me. I hope
I agree.
he picks it up. Last, we'll have a little fun with this one, is my fantasy team, the league we're in. Man, I am getting decimated with
your
injuries.
pitchers, man.
So Spencer Strider, obviously done, right? We had that whole conversation. Was he 5th? When I picked 5,
Yeah.
5th overall pick, done for the year.
Yep.
Justin Steele has been out since opening day when he pulled his hamstring. I think he might be coming back.
Oh yeah,
soon.
he was doing that fielding like a little bunt.
Oh
or
yeah, I
something.
watched it live.
Yeah.
That's awful. Merrill Kelly on the IL now. I think he's out a month. And again, say what you want about my staff, but I obviously went Strider heavy and then was like, okay, I just need to fill the pieces. Brian Bello just went on the IL.
Yep.
Even my fucking relievers are getting hurt. Peter Fairbanks, who also isn't pitching the best, but he's still hurt.
Yeah.
Like I literally have, I have like Michael Waka in my lineup. It's awful.
What's your? Those are all your IL spots too, right?
I think Brandon Lowe's is taking up my other one. But yeah, I had to drop Josiah Gray so I could put. Well, I had to be able to put. I had to clear an IL spot so I could put somebody else on there. It's absolutely awful. So
That's rough.
Down is my fantasy team pitching staff. My lineup's really good.
Yeah.
Maybe we could piece it together.
It happens.
Who the hell knows?
It happens.
That's enough fantasy talk. Nobody cares about my fantasy team, but I do want you to feel bad for me.
Okay, I feel very bad for you, Chris. I'm so sorry.
That's it for 3 up, 3 down. We tried to keep it a little bit more crisp this time.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work better if we let's get it, because 3 up, 3 down sounds like a quick segment.
It's a quick inning.
Yeah,
it's a quick inning.
Exactly. So that's what we did, and hopefully you guys like it. Please continue to give us feedback. We know we like to chat about things, so we try to, with segments like this, we want to make sure it doesn't get too long for them.
Plenty of conversation to happen coming up soon.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so let's kind of adjust to that right now. And you sent a text to me and part-time producer Doug Irwin, and just outraged over the umpires. So, Chris, I'll let you set it up, and we can kind of go from there.
All right. If you're listening to this, you probably like baseball a good bit, so you probably already know this happened a couple days ago. But Aaron Boone, manager of the Yankees, was ejected. What the hell is today? Today's Wednesday. I think it was Monday.
I think it was Monday.
It was Monday. Got ejected. And whatever, ho-hum, another ejection. Well, it turns out a fan that was sitting directly behind the dugout was, we'll just say, yelling or making commentary loud enough that the umpire heard it and ejected Aaron Boone. The video clearly shows Aaron Boone saying nothing to this umpire. Umpire Hunter Wendelstedt, he doesn't even, I probably pronounced it right, but he doesn't deserve it to be pronounced correctly. So bad that he doubled down to the point of like, Aaron Boone's like, hey, like, I didn't say anything. Like, for once, right? Like, I didn't say shit.
Hey, my mouth was shut.
And the umps literally says, I don't care who said it. You're gone. So my whole thing, so I'm furious. Right. I hate all the umpires. They can all go fuck themselves. They all got sticks up their asses. I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand, and somebody way smarter than me is just going to be like, oh, it's the union. This is what I don't understand about the union. How is it that strong?
Yeah.
How is it much stronger than the MLB Players Union?
Yeah.
MLB Players Union folds after everything. They can't get anything done.
Yeah.
But the umpires, you can't fire fucking Angel Hernandez, that blind piece of shit. I hate that guy. Sorry, that's off tangent of Hunter Wendelstedt. I'm angry. These guys are untouchable. They have zero recourse for anything that they do wrong.
Right.
They could say whatever they want. They could do whatever they want. They change the course of games. They change people's lives almost, right? With some of the calls, right? Imagine if I miss a call, I'm supposed to strike this guy out, right? I'm a middle reliever. He missed a call, ball 4 instead of strike 3. Next guy hits a fucking home run, I get sent down. You could ruin careers. Give me robot umps. Get rid of these jerk offs. I'm done with them. It makes no sense how they're so strong. Okay. Fire Angel Hernandez. What's he going to do? It's already clear that he has no case. This is how bad he is. There's those scorecards. Just keep track of them. He's the worst of them.
I mean, he's the worst, and it's not even close.
What can the umps do? Strike? Good. There's fucking 1,000 umpires in the world. Figure it out. You need how many? 4 times. How many games are there?
A lot.
15? Mm-hmm. You need 60 guys.
Yeah, but you're so
great. Everybody's up. The guys in AAA sure as shit aren't in the union.
I mean, there should be like a promotion relegation like aspect in umpires, like they do in soccer. Like if you suck as an umpire, you get sent down, and all the good ones in AAA get pulled up.
Just
you know
go,
what I mean?
just whatever. I'd be okay. Like for the most part, we won't get super political. I'm pro-union, but this one doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think Doug's the one who said it's probably because there's less umpires than there are players, right? So there's
Sure, but I only need 60 of them.
Oh well, but I think
to field the major league.
But to get that level of certification takes a lot. And so,
you got guys in AAA, call them up.
Look,
it's their
I
time.
don't disagree, but I think there is some nuance to it. But I mean, here's the deal: like when it comes to umpires, I was thinking about what in other sports, what's the comparison? Where it's kind of not really. The closest thing I can think of is like, what is a part of a sport that's not a part of most of the other ones that just make zero sense to me? Like fighting in hockey.
Yeah,
like. That what does that do for the game? You know, like, oh, let's let them punch each other in the face, and then these people can go sit down. Like that doesn't do anything, but it's not, and it does impact the game. It can impact momentum, all that kind of stuff, right? And then you can say there's referees in football, but those rules are a lot more like they're less objective when like balls and strikes,
cut and dry. Your fucking foot's out of bounds. You're out of bounds.
Throwing somebody out of a game, like so. To me, that's the only thing that kind of is the same thing. I mean, basketball, like you punched him, you can't do that. He's behind the 3-point line. You know, so there's a lot of subjection in the baseball umpiring space.
Correct.
And it's tough. Like, you know, it's just one of those things that it's a part of baseball, you know, and I think it's always going to be there, but how do you make it better? Like they have to demote these guys that make bad calls consistently.
If Angel Hernandez, if you're an umpire,
yeah,
and you're like, and they're like, hey, you're with Angel Hernandez. Do you not immediately like roll your eyes? Do you not pull a Brooks Koepka on Bryson DeChambeau there?
And like, why is that guy still behind the plate? Like,
so
put him down the outfield line. Don't let him get behind home.
I don't need anybody to comment or come after me about how unions work. I fucking get it. I comprehend it. But logically speaking, how does anybody just stand there and be like, yeah, I support what Angel Hernandez is doing? You don't. You're lying to yourself and everybody else if you say that. Not that anybody came out and said it, but like all of their actions indicate that. Like, I want to know like Joe West's opinion. Right. He probably worked with him.
Yeah.
Joe West.
What would be your because we still need umpires for like stealing bases, and someone has to make the original call, right?
Yeah, but they could still be there, like they could exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what is your ideal situation? Like, no umpire back there at all, and then everybody just looks at a computer after every pitch. Like, what's the alternative here? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, I don't even need it. I just want that ability for guys to be able to like challenge that play, like or whatever the pitch,
which they do. They challenge the plays already. The pitch. The pitches they can't. But that would slow like the game.
No, it doesn't. It takes 30 seconds. They do it in the minors. It's literally, here's the box. Is it in the box or outside of the box? Strike ball. It's like tennis.
Yeah.
How long does that take? 30 seconds. The ball landed here. It's in. The ball landed here. It's out.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
it's that simple.
No, and I don't disagree. But like they were having, so tennis is being the example where they have those robots that say if a ball's in or out, right? There was a tournament recently where there was an obvious ball mark that they could see visually, and the computer said it was out, and it obviously was not. So computers have like that error, right? And so that's going to exist.
But
so
it's less than.
I don't disagree. But like if someone programs something wrong or positions a camera incorrectly or whatever that looks like, right? There's a lot of other ways that can go haywire too. So that's what my thought is. Do I want robo umpires? I don't think so, because I love making fun of umpires with weird strikeout calls.
I want the ability to challenge like a bad call and them not be able to have sticks up their ass for being wrong.
I completely.
And that's the problem.
I completely agree with that. I don't understand why they have these scorecards and they don't do shit about it.
That
doesn't make any fucking sense.
Person, like I don't think that's an MLB thing.
That's just like really? See, I thought they had actual scorecards with.
I mean, they probably have some sort of grading base.
Because really, in the end, like umpires make baseball, and I'm okay with. I'm a little traditional. I'm okay with that, but I do think accountability is necessary. And, I mean, gone are the days of the managers coming out, turning their hats backwards and yelling at an umpire's face. That doesn't even happen anymore because they get ejected before they even get out to the field. So maybe if you rule out ejections or you got to have some kind of like warning system that doesn't make it so easy. I don't really know. I don't actually know what Boone was doing prior. Maybe he was being an ass prior, and that's why the umpire had enough of it. Who knows? Who cares? But I agree with you. There has to be some type of accountability because it's just ridiculous. I mean, Angel Hernandez. Like, have you seen some of those stat boxes?
They're horrendous.
What in the world?
I'm looking at one right now from Lance Barrett from yesterday, Tuesday. 87% overall accuracy. Sure, the computer could screw up. It's not screwing up 13% of the time.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's egregious. Like, that you have to try to be that bad.
Yeah, there's definitely...
And then consistency is an 89%. So not only are you calling this pitch outside of the zone a strike on whomever, who is it? It was the Giants Mets.
Okay.
So you're calling this pitch outside to Francisco Lindor. I'm just making up the situation.
Yep.
That's a strike, right? Strike 3, you're out. Next guy comes up, ball. And you're like, what? Now you have typically, like when we were, when you were playing, at least when I grew up, it was like, well, shit, that's a bad strike zone, but I know that's a strike.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to call that a strike. I can adjust to that.
He likes the outside edge.
Right? Like, that's what he's going to call. Sure, it's a ball, right? I huffed and puffed the first time it happened, but now it's like, okay, squeak an inch or two closer.
Yep.
Now I could cover that. Great. Move on. Right? Like, for the most part. And you're talking about Little League, you know what I mean? Senior League umpires.
Yeah, high school, yeah.
Like, just a random ass guy getting paid $30 to throw on a chest protector. You know what I mean? Like, I umpired Little League too. You're just fucking hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, so just be consistent at least. At bare minimum, give me consistency.
Yeah, I think
he couldn't even do that. Now, that's one example, but that was just one I saw. I was like, holy hell, this is so bad.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely would assume 90% would be the bare minimum.
I don't know what you're supposed to be, but I sure as hell know it's not 87.
Yeah, 87. I mean,
it's definitely not any number with an 8 in front of it. That's for damn sure.
Bees get degrees, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, but not in this profession, man.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't disagree with you.
I don't know the answer to your question before. I don't know what to do, but that's not my job. I don't make billions of dollars to make that decision.
Right. Man,
there's a bullshit commissioner in charge that is only worried about fucking relocating historical franchises to Sacramento.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But you get my point.
Yeah.
But I digress. Anyway, that was my spiel on umpires. If you watch baseball or care, you have to be sick of them too.
Yeah.
And I'd be stunned. If you have a different opinion, please, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to listen to what you have to say. Just know that you're wrong, but I'll listen to what you have to say.
I am definitely interested to anyone who is pro umpire.
Right now, yeah.
yeah. Give me your opinion. It's just
wait, that isn't an umpire.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you can't be. I'm sorry, sir. Have you taken the test? Yes. Okay, get out of here. I don't want to hear that.
You cannot.
There are two types of people I don't understand: pro umps who aren't umps, and then pro athletic. Period. So those are the two that don't make any sense whatsoever. Okay,
we are gonna do. I'll introduce this one for once. We're going to call this, we're going to workshop the name, but we're going to call it a season so far.
I love it.
So this is going to be our last episode of the month of April. Mm-hmm. So, minus your couple games that we had in March, we're a month through the season. Like, holy hell.
Yeah.
It came and went.
We did it.
Right? It's come and gone. We're going to do a season so far. We're going to do quick, like nowhere near like, season preview type stuff.
Right.
But just quick, breakdown of each division, what we like, what we don't like, teams doing good, teams doing bad. We're not touching on every team. If you think we missed your team and you should deserve a call out, great. And I'm sure you don't want us talking shit on your team, so I won't hear anything from that side.
Yeah, sounds good. So Chris, let's since you have the computer in front of you, let's start with AL East and you just go top to bottom.
That's
wins
right. Okay, that's how I have it set up.
Hell yeah.
Reading my mind.
You can tell we talked about this a lot prior.
Not on this one.
No, it was a sarcasm.
Good
Lord,
people,
Chris.
You never know. All right, AL East. It's a 2-horse race. It's Yankees and Orioles.
Yep. Which is what we
thought so.
Be. Yep.
The Rays are technically in last. Mm-hmm. They're only one game below 500.
Yep.
So overall, tough division.
Good division.
Red Sox are going to drop like a rock. You talk about injury bug. Everybody gets hurt. How they're even hovering, I don't know.
So it's their pitching. They're starting.
but
They're starting pitching as
Bello just went down,
outperformed
but
like
I'm just saying
crazy.
that it's not sustainable. I don't believe
No,
it.
I don't think so either. But you are asking how are they where they're at now? It's because their starting pitching has been. Because I have a couple of those guys on my team because I'm like, shit, they're pitching really well.
They're out
so.
Pavetta. They're just this year, like just from the start, they're out Pavetta and Bello.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. They'll drop like a rock because they're what mid-table now. Or are they third or fourth?
They're all within.
Okay, they're all a couple games
because
of each other,
the Blue
but-
Jays are kind of have a similar record too.
Right, okay.
And I don't know what to make of them.
Yeah, the
Like
Blue
I said,
Jays are
I'm
tough.
tuned into the Buds and Blue Jays guys.
Yeah.
and I'm trying to make it. Of that, like or they came to Seattle, took a couple games, or no, we went to Toronto. They took a couple games from us, and you're just like, okay, like they're good. They have potential to be really good.
Yeah.
and then you're like, Vlad's not really playing well at all.
No.
Bo Bichette is we'll call it a shell of himself, but hasn't like gone crazy yet. I'm struggling to put them in that top tier. They do have good pitching, but they're banged up. Gosman hasn't really turned it on. Bassett is always Bassett. He's just going to eat a ton of innings and give you good stuff.
Yeah.
Kikuchi's pitching out of his mind. He probably could have made a 3-up, but I don't care about him 'cause
Yeah.
of all that.
I think that we knew it'll be a 2-horse race. I don't think the Yankees, because their pitching staff, is going to be able to keep up with the Orioles. And man, the Orioles, dude, like that lineup is mashing. I love that team so much fun to watch.
They're fun.
Yeah,
So
but
you're going anti-Yankee. Well, you're already anti.
I'm already anti-Yankees.
But the O's are more fun.
But I also think the Yankees, they've got a lot of problems in a couple positions. Like second base Torres is not playing
know
well.
what his deal is.
Like I just think they've got some holes as the Orioles seem to not really have as many. So we'll see what happens. But the division's playing out. Other than the Red Sox playing with everybody, it's about what we expected.
Yeah,
So,
the Rays might hang around. I don't know. I don't. Again, I don't trust
we
them.
both
for
bet
this
we
year.
bet against the Rays.
I don't
this year,
trust
so.
them. I don't. This year is different.
Yeah.
I just don't think they
No,
have
I'm with you.
what
I'm
they
with
need
you.
to have.
I'm with you.
I am interested to see what happens when Garrett Cole comes back.
Yeah.
If he's 75% of Garrett Cole, his team's going to be in pretty good shape.
It's a lot different. It's a different conversation.
And they're holding. That's what you have to do, though. You guys go down. You gotta tread water a little bit.
Yeah,
and
they're doing more than tread water. They're leading.
No,
they're,
correct.
Yeah.
But it's still early. A lot of crazy shit could happen. But man, the O's. To your just quick aside, they're calling up. It's time. They're saying screw it. Like,
Yeah, we're going
Colton
for it.
Cowser, he was honorable mention for my 3-up. He got like 6 or 7 home runs. Guy's a machine.
Kid's
He's hitting
awesome.
like 350. Like must watch.
Question:
TV.
how old is he? Because he's young, like real
young and old. No, Cowser's up there, I think.
Because they're older. Okay, sorry.
I'm
All
just-
right. I was thinking he was. I thought he was one of the younger guys too. Never mind.
No.
Okay.
He's
He's
a
hitting great.
prospect. 23. Look it up.
Okay.
Because I got more to say.
Okay, keep
They
going.
just called up. I'm gonna butcher his name,
Butcher
but
the name.
Kerstead. They just called him up. He was dominating in Norfolk. Basically, like one of the only guys left is Kobe Mayo.
24. You were close.
Told you
Good
he was
job.
a little older though.
Yeah, it's still young though, man.
I agree,
Yeah.
but in my head, like once you get to 25, you're like, meh.
Oh, okay,
like
that's fair.
in
Okay.
terms of prospect,
Yeah,
right? Like,
baseball,
because he
yeah,
just
age.
broke into the majors
Yeah.
at 24, and he's playing his ass off.
He's
Like
playing
kudos
really
to
well.
him. But you've got all of those guys playing very well, right? Gunner's playing otherworldly. Adley's Adley, and then there's Jackson Holiday, man. And we talked about this in our side text, and it's just like you have to let him get his bumps. He's better than a AAA player. He's not going to gain anything else at AAA. So
He needs to see major league level
I'm
pitching.
happy they're in a spot like because if they were like 500, he wouldn't be playing.
I agree. Completely agree.
Right?
Yeah.
You start Jorge Mateo, and now you're like, I don't know what to do because if he's not playing, then you might as well send him to AAA.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's a different conversation.
That's the thing. He's not hindering the team at all.
Correct.
And-
Let him take his bumps.
Yep.
He's gonna figure it out. The kids, not this many people could be this high on a guy. Right. Like we talk about Jordan Walker being a top prospect. Yes, he was top 5 for years. Great. The conversation with Jackson Holiday is different.
It's a lot
like
different.
you're talking
Yeah.
like other like former major leaguers weighing in, all types of scouts, right? Like this kid's gonna be fine. With how successful all the success of all these other young guys from the Orioles made it such a high bar for him. On top of him being the biggest prospect going in years.
Yeah, it's in a long time.
It's a lot of pressure that otherwise, doesn't get realized. So for me, hopefully he could just get settled in and figure out everything in the O's. They're giving him some time to figure it out. I love that. I will not support him going down to AAA.
No.
But that's it. That's my AL East. I still think the O's are going to pull it out.
I agree.
But we'll see what the Yankees have in
Yeah,
store.
I feel like I said, that
if Judge hasn't turned it on yet, Stanton's playing pretty well. I mean, his numbers probably aren't
striking
good,
out a lot, but I mean,
that's all
that's
he
very
always
Stanton.
does, bud. That's his goal.
Yep. All right. So cool. So I mean, like I said, the division's about what we thought. What about Central?
Weird division.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you said it already. The Guardians, they got the most wins in the league.
Yeah.
They're hot.
They're hot.
Their pitching is they're just a good overall team, and they even lost Shane Bieber, so clearly that hurt. What bothers me, or maybe bothers, what concerns me is when the time comes, when trade deadline comes around, are they going to go and try and get better? Right? Like, are they going to make that move that pushes them over the edge? Are they going to make that call, give up a couple prospects and try and go for it? Because they're not paying people, right? Like J-Ram's on a super team-friendly deal. They're going to need pitching for the long haul. They've got a decent bullpen, right? Clay's Class A on the back end is pitching very well. I don't know. They're banged up. I do think they're going to need a couple horses come like mid-season. Where they come from, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they strike me as a team that's going to do like the mid-tier moves and be like, hey, look what we did. And you're like, eh. You're like, that didn't do it, right? You added a 3 or 4 starter, like an innings eater. You could have did that at the beginning of the season. So that concerns me. What surprises me are the Tigers and the Royals. Both a couple games over 500. Again, it's still early. A lot of time for my prophecy of both of them not doing what they need to. We did have the Tigers going over 500.
We did.
Royals, screw them. But they're both playing pretty well.
Yeah, the Royals, I mean, like I mentioned in the last episode, they were playing pretty hot. They've cooled off a little, but they're still, in the conversation right now. We'll see how long it lasts. Bobby Witt Jr. playing very good. Looks to be worth every penny they spend on him.
Oh, yeah. He's worth it.
So, I was looking at a stat about attendance percentage, and the Royals are one of the lower teams.
That makes sense.
Which makes sense, but I do hope that that city gets behind them. I mean, they're playing well. You should go support a team if they're playing well. So I thought that was an interesting thing, though. They were down there with not nearly as low as the A's. Obviously, no one is, but they're below like league average when it comes to total percentage of tickets sold.
It's weird up there, or wherever the hell they are. Over there, we'll say.
Middle there.
Yeah. They're doing new stadium stuff.
Are they? Okay. Yeah.
The city or whatever the hell. Somebody's in a fight because the Chiefs are trying to do new shit.
Right.
It's a whole thing.
It's hard not to give everything to the Chiefs because of how well they've
local
played.
politics.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a sour taste in people's mouth.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the Royals have sucked for the last couple of years.
I mean, more than a couple. Yeah. They've been bad a while.
And like we said in the beginning of the year, they made a couple moves, right? They got Waka, they got Lugo. Were they big moves? Absolutely not. No. But they're better. They were better. We agreed that they were better than they were before. Our whole argument was they weren't going to be, 15 games better or whatever.
Right.
But right now they're kind of proving us wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. They're, sitting a little above 500 with the Tigers, and they play this weekend, so that'll be interesting series.
I give the Tigers a better shot than the Royals.
I agree.
And I know I was kind of down on them. Like I was in the middle. I could have been.
Yeah, those young guys are playing well though.
Yeah, and Scooble's pitching his ass off.
Good.
Guy's
so
good.
You know what is disappointing though? The Twins do not look like the team we saw last year.
Disappointment. Big disappointment.
I mean, obviously the White Sox are the worst in the league, but they're the worst in the division, but also the worst in the league.
To something we should have realized a long time ago, or in the offseason, was the Twins didn't get better.
Yeah.
Like we expected what they already had to just improve.
Mm-hmm.
And
or stay consistent at least.
Sure.
But they're an under 500 team. I mean, they are
and
9-13.
And probably, I think overall they're pitching okay.
Yeah.
They're not hitting very well, but at the same token, they did lose Sonny Gray, was a top 5 Cy Young guy.
Yeah.
Say what you want about him overall. I don't know his stats off the top of my head in St. Louis, but he was a vital piece to what they were doing last year. So they make playoffs, they win that series, and then they just go and shed payroll like crazy. And talk about fans not wanting to support. I could see it. I don't know where they stand on that, whatever chart you were looking at, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were, they were next in terms of wow. Here's another big drop off.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's when we got wrong, because we both thought they were going to be, up there in a part of the conversation. Right now, it just does not look like that's the case. So, all right, that's Central. What are we looking at with the West?
You're talking about my American West leading Seattle
Do
Mariners.
it, man. Say it.
We ready? Today, April 24th, 2024, is the first time the Seattle Mariners were in sole possession of first place in the AL West at this mark of the season, 23-game mark, since 2009.
That's a while.
That's 15 years, Bo. So I'm happy.
That's
but
awesome.
Here's the deal. We were recording this. Mariners haven't played yet.
Yeah.
I would give it an 85% chance that they lose today.
Okay.
Strictly because that's how it always works. It's like, hey, we're on top of the world. We're in first. Let's go on a little run here. We're playing the Rangers. Let's expound a little. And they're going to shit the bed. It's just how they do it. It works. But here's the deal. Julio hit his first home run last night. Bomb. He's going to get going. Cal Raleigh's on fire. He's actually sitting today. Go figure. Our starting pitching is turned up to 1,000. I remember us complaining the first time, or the last episode we did, I was bitching about, hey, they're not even doing it either. Castillo wasn't really pitching well. He had a good start against the Rockies, but he still needs to turn it on.
Yeah.
Since last Monday, so probably, let's say, 7 games maximum, the Mariners have allowed a run in only 11% of their innings.
That's
so
wild.
7 of 64.
Awesome.
Those stats are all courtesy of Nathan Bishop at Nathan_H_B. He's a Mariners guy, fan I follow. Has a lot of good tidbits. I'm high on them right now. They've got me on the roof. Let's keep it moving. We've got the Rangers. We can clear a couple games of them because right now they're the only other team that I'm concerned about as it stands today.
Yeah. As of right now,
That lineup-
it looks like a 2-horse
That
race.
lineup is deadly no matter what. I don't care how good or bad they are at any given time. They could turn on you for a double-digit game no matter what.
I agree.
Simeon, Seager, Adolis, Wyatt Langford is off to a slow start too. Nobody's really coming at him very hard. Evan Carter, they're all struggling for the most part. I think Seager's still kind of banged up. I don't think
he's not
healthy.
playing. Yeah.
But they're my concern. I have no concern about the Angels. Mike Trout, yeah.
Again, the Angels are like the Red Sox right now. They're middle of the division, and
They're
you're
under 500 though.
That's wild. Barely. Oh no, never mind. I'm sorry. They're 15. I thought they were closer. Okay, yeah. No, they're definitely under 500.
I'm not concerned about them. Trout, I am. Trout can beat he's a Mariners world beater.
Yeah.
Don't throw him the ball. Just walk.
Just walk him every
That's it.
time. Yeah.
There's no
Give him the
reason.
Bonds treatment.
Pitch
I hear
it
you.
Taylor Ward.
Yeah.
It's fine. A's, we're not. Whatever.
Yeah, and then we already talked about how the
Astros,
Astros, what's happening?
Their pitching is it's
bad.
They're not getting anything.
Yeah.
And I think, they got Verlander back, and then they lost Christian Javier. They're out Framber Valdez. They're out Jose Urquidy, who is out in this season. They're out Lance McCullers, who's out beginning of the season. Your mini Verlander guy that you sold me on stinks.
He's not what was advertised.
They're bad. And it's even better. On May 5th, I will be going out there to watch Astros and Mariners.
Oh,
in my
nice.
Mariners gear. Hopefully I don't get beat up.
And I mean, you guys should beat them pretty handily.
That's the plan.
We
Hopefully I don't get
swept
beat
them
up.
recently, so it was. They're
The
not a good
Mariners
team.
Don't do,
They're not a good
whatever's
team.
easy, man. They don't do it.
I think that. I think you're right. I mean, looking at Seattle, I was looking at stats, right, getting prepared for the show, and the top 2 Ks in the AL are both Mariners. So you guys, your pitching is on point, and if you guys can do that all year, you're going to be a tough team to beat. So that's awesome. Good for you guys. All right, we're going to move on to National League, and I'm going to take over from here. We're going to start in the East because we're going to talk about my Braves being number 1 as usual, 16-6. Closely followed by the Phillies. They are way better than I was hoping they would be at this point. They're a problem. Phillies look good.
The problem for you right now is all the unexpected guys are playing well. Alec Boehm's turning it on.
Right.
I'd get beat up if I don't mention this, but Ranger Suarez is having a
year.
great year.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue competition. He's played the Nats, Pirates, and Rockies.
Correct.
But he's only got a 1.36 ERA, only giving up 0.7 walks, hits per inning.
Man, it's about building that confidence, you know? Like, you start against shitty players or teams, and then you just build up confidence. You can pitch against
Wheeler's
the big
still
ones.
Wheeler,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Wheeler's
he's going to be there
top
the
of
whole
everything.
time. Nola's Nola. Like,
Yeah.
I have a similar concept of this is a 2-horse race.
Yep.
How concerned? Like, do you think it'll be a dogfight? I remember last time you're like, I'm not concerned.
No, I still don't think it'll be a dogfight because right now their run differential is only like 10 runs. They're 15-9, so they're not winning by a lot. That, as we know, that kind of win-loss ratio when you have that small of a run differential, that's not sustainable.
It usually balances out.
Usually
Every
balances
once in a
out,
while,
yeah.
you have like the Marlins last year where
there's some anomalies in there,
ass.
but I don't expect it to be a barn burner yet. But I am concerned about the Phillies. I've made that clear from the very beginning.
They're a good team.
The Phillies are a good team. I hate them to death, obviously, but they're definitely looking pretty good.
But to the point, similar point from Phillies, I'll give you a positive on the Braves. Your guys haven't gotten going completely. Well, your guy being Acuna.
I mean, yeah. So Acuna has
really
not played well. Matt's consistent, but not a world beater right now. The only world beater we have is Ozuna.
Michael Harris having a really good year.
Yeah, Harris is doing pretty well.
And then
Yeah.
you lost Ozzy for a little while.
Yeah, lost Ozzy, but I mean, we didn't lose Ozzy for too long. He'll be back
Correct.
pretty soon. Max has not pitched great until recently when he had a Greg Maddux-esque outing here not too long ago. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Fried he shoved it.
Fried. I mean, if he can be ace,
That was against the Marlins, though. That don't count.
yeah, it doesn't count as the Marlins. See, that's why I didn't get too excited. But still, that's a confidence builder, like we talked about.
If he gets going, you're almost back on track. Right?
Yeah,
you still
I
have an
agree.
ace.
All right, and so here's a comparison: the Mets, who are the 3rd in the league,
I have no concerns about them.
right? Their run differential is basically the same as the Phillies, right? So that's why I'm not too concerned with the Phillies. And you have Washington, who, to their credit,
They're playing better than expected.
They took some from the Dodgers. They took some from what was the other team they beat? Was it the Astros? That doesn't count.
I think so.
I think it was
Yes.
Astros. Okay, we won't count the Astros, but they did take some from the Dodgers.
Abrams is playing really well. They're
playing
pitching
good.
well, and
Yeah.
half the guys I don't even know.
I don't know any. I don't know any of them.
Apparently, Irvin is one of their pitchers.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was Cole Irvin because that's it.
Right.
Wrong.
No.
It's Jake Irvin, and he shoved it against whoever the hell he pitched against. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, so they're playing better than expected, and the Marlins are playing like
Horrible.
ass.
Horrific.
They are the 3rd worst team in the league currently.
What they're doing is
we
an
got them. We got them wrong because I think we both had them finishing higher than the Nationals and the Mets.
Well, then the Nationals, yeah. Nationals were dead last.
Well, not currently.
Doug expected the Nats to lose 100
I
games.
think everybody did, and they still could, but right now they're playing a little better than expected.
And they've got a few guys like James Wood can get a call.
Yeah.
They could at least be fun. Like maybe screw with some teams late in the year. Who
Right.
knows? They'll fall off though. I don't. Their pitching doesn't
Yeah.
impress me at all. The Mets do not scare me.
No.
Senga's coming back, but what do you get from him?
Senga was on the 60.
He's out for a while.
He's
He's out
that's
for
way
a
down
while.
the line.
But what do you get from him when he comes back?
No, you don't get enough.
And
yeah.
I don't. They just don't do it for me.
Yeah, it's a 2-horse race.
It's Braves, Phillies,
Yeah.
and we also said that. We said one of those two teams are going to make the playoffs. You know,
Both of them, yeah.
we'll get into how it's going to shake out as the season progresses, right? You'll get more concerned, I'm sure, if this stays the same.
Correct.
Throughout the whole
If they
season.
if they continue winning at this clip, I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'll get more and more
So
concerned.
that's the NL East.
Yeah, Central. This division's pretty interesting. So
Who would have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk?
The Central being like the most competitive of both sides.
Completely, yeah. And I mean, so the Cardinals are bringing up the rear.
Stink.
And they're still 11-14, so they're close-ish to that 500. But
unhappy there.
their run differential is like -25. So, but all the other teams in this league are 0 to 20 plus. Like that's how good this division is, and they're all 13 plus wins. So Milwaukee's at 14, Chicago's at 14, Cincinnati's at 13, Pittsburgh's at 13. Like, what is happening?
From bottom to top, Cardinals stink. If they don't attempt to get rid of Arenado and Goldschmidt this year, everybody in that leadership
They have to
group
restart.
should get
They have to reset.
everybody
for
in
sure.
that. I don't care what you get, you just get rid of them.
Well, it's such a traditionally good like franchise. You would think they would make the right decision. That's obviously what they have to do.
They haven't though. They
No, they
stuck
have
with
not. They
these
have not.
veterans that are giving them. Lance Lynn ain't moving the needle. Kyle Gibson ain't moving the needle. Sonny Gray, sure, but at this point, just fucking trade him.
Yeah,
too.
I agree. I think you need to offload. And Sonny Gray, I mean, there's a great target for the Guardians.
They signed him for a couple of years. He's not going.
Oh well, who knows? Who knows?
So moving on up, the Pirates.
Not
They're
sustainable.
doing their April bullshit.
Yeah.
They're
What was it? The stat you gave us? They were like 20 and something last.
Yeah,
year?
they were insane.
Yeah.
They won like 20 games.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
And they're a little close to it. They'll probably get 17 or something.
Yeah.
And they're tough to root against.
Correct. I agree with you.
That Jared
Yeah.
Jones guy, I love him.
Yeah.
And O'Neal Cruz,
Love
his own
him.
flashy guy. Brian Reynolds, a good player. They have
Crutch.
they're
It's
okay.
hard not to love Crutch. You know what I mean?
McCutcheon's still hanging on.
Absolutely.
Their pitching's keeping them in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that.
I don't think it's sustainable, but it's fun that they're
Let
a
him
part
hang
of the
on for as long-
conversation.
And hopefully they get Skeens up soon. I want to watch him. I have not.
I'd love to
I
watch
have
him.
not actively watched any of his minor league starts.
I'm
I
not
just
gonna
look
watch
at
minor league. I don't care.
Some-
I'll go to like the local team, the Greenville Drive. I'll go watch that. I'm not watching shit on a computer.
I
I'm
forget
just not
who
gonna
it
do it.
was. So forgive me on this, but somebody tweeted today and they're like, "Hey, game starts at 12:05 on MLB account." And by 12:25, you could go about the rest of your day because Skeens will be out of the game, right? Because he's only going to throw
Yeah, who
2 innings.
gives a
or,
shit? Yeah.
however many pitches.
That's really funny.
Moving on up, Reds.
Fun team.
I don't know. Fun is the first word.
Yeah.
They're banged up a lot.
Yeah.
They got a lot of injuries. Ellie's a firecracker.
Yeah, I mean, Ellie's carrying that team on his back. I think this team is going to shake out to be what we thought, which is a bunch of guys, but a bunch of guys is not going to win you a division or the World Series.
They need to figure out some arms.
I agree.
'Cause I think Frankie Montas was either got scratched or on the IL.
I don't think he's IL, but he got scratched for sure.
So, and he's their one. Lodolo just came back though. He's had 2 solid starts.
Okay.
Nick
Yeah.
Lodolo. Control used to be an issue, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Striking out a lot of guys. Pitched pretty well last 2. I've been texting with Dan. I didn't start him his first go around because there's no way he's good. He gave 6 strong. Good player. I think that they're a good team. I want them to succeed. We'll see what happens. A lot of season left. Chicago Cubs. Another weird, I don't know what to think of team.
Well, so here's the deal. I mean, the Cubs are where I thought they would be because they're, above 500. They're.
Do we have them win? No, we have the Reds.
I had the Cubs winning. I had the Cubs on that division, yeah. So I think the Cubs still take that division. I think Milwaukee started hot. They're starting to come back down to earth. But these teams are basically, pound for pound. Milwaukee is where they're at because they're 10-4 away. Okay, that's you don't play that good away from the stadium all season.
Maybe Milwaukee just sucks.
I mean, that's fair, but we'll see. Like Milwaukee's been a nice surprise. Obviously, Jackson Cherio's over there. He's not having a world beater rookie season, but
Correct.
I
think it's
he's
successful.
a part of the conversation.
He's fine. Let him play.
And I think Yelich is
he back now?
he was back.
in
Like
and out.
he's playing really well this
I like
year,
him.
and he's to me he had that MVP caliber seasons that he like
I don't
strung
even know
together.
what year ago that was.
And he's kind of fallen off the past few years, but I think he's getting back into form. At least he has been so far at the beginning of the year. So Milwaukee's a nice surprise because I don't think either of us had them really a part of the conversation, but they are right now. So that's been interesting.
Yeah, I again another team that mid small market isn't going to do.
They're not going to make.
Crazy.
They're not going to make waves.
Peralta's
at the
pitching
beginning.
really well.
Yep.
Reese Hoskins having a decent year too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We forgot to mention him.
Yep.
Back to the Cubs really quick. I like them overall. They're treading water without their ace Steele.
Mm-hmm.
Imanaga might be the real deal.
Oh, he's the real deal. Yeah,
He's
I don't
good.
think might.
He doesn't throw hard.
He doesn't
which is
have
crazy.
to. Yeah, he doesn't have to.
I don't know if he just has. I don't know what the deal is with him, but he's pitching very well.
Yeah, he throws
who the hell knows
that cutter thing. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it's wild. Yeah,
he's very good.
Yeah.
So happy for that. Bellinger just went on the IL though.
Yeah.
Fractured rib.
Yeah.
They did call up Pete Crow Armstrong in his place.
Yeah, good.
And I did tweet out from our account that's like cool. Like I'm happy to see Pete Crow Armstrong up. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
At the expense of Cody Bellinger.
Not as
so
exciting.
much. Right. Like I want him up because he's exciting. He's going to be a good player. But to lose Cody in that,
yeah, it's definitely not a good swap. But I mean,
they have Dansby. They got a good little
have a good team.
Michael Bush was playing well before he was hitting. He had like 4. He'd probably be my hot if he wasn't on. I think he went on IL too.
Yeah, I think he's on the 10 or 15.
So Centrals both divisions to watch.
Yeah,
Who would have thought? We thought it was going to be like one horse race. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think we anticipated both of them to be ho-hum divisions, and they're. I mean, okay, the Central on the AL is like got some shitty teams. They have 3 of the 5, whereas this division is basically most of them. And Cardinals aren't great, but it's been nice to see that change. So, all right, let's move on to the West. This is basically as predicted.
It is and it isn't. I don't think the Dodgers have run away yet, but they're going to.
Oh no, okay. So I'm sorry. Basically, how it's stacked up.
Okay.
Dodgers, Padres, Diamondbacks, Giants, Rockies is essentially. I mean, here's the problem though. When we talked about this at the beginning of the season, we were like, it can go either way, and it's still gonna go either way with those guys under the Dodgers for sure. But Dodgers on top. And, I mean, you're right. They're only a game and a half above the Rockies.
That's not true.
No, not Rockies. I'm so sorry. The Padres.
Correct.
Their run differential is only at 18, which you would expect the Dodgers to beat the doors off people, and they're not.
Their pitching isn't there, though.
Yeah, their pitching is not.
Ohtani's playing otherworldly. Mookie Betts playing otherworldly.
Mookie's playing
Freddie's
right
just pedestrian right now.
For Freddie.
Yes,
but still
he's
top tier player. Yeah.
But in their lineup overall is solid. But again, it falls apart towards the end. Like if Teoscar is performing, then they're on another level. If Max Muncy, if his 230 average, but he's hitting a home run every other game, then they're on top of the world. But then they're pitching beside sans Glasnow.
Yeah,
Glasnow is Cy Young
the
caliber
real deal
at this particular point in time. They're not.
No, and here's the deal. So they've scored 128 runs, which is one of the higher numbers in the MLB, but they've allowed 110.
See what I mean?
Also
pitching
one of the higher.
there.
Yeah, the pitching.
That starting pitching. They're out a lot of guys, and I know they expected to not have the guys.
We still thought they would run away with it, though.
Yeah, well, they lost Bobby Miller. I think he should be back soon, but he was struggling a little. And you have a slew. I mean, we talked about who they have on the IL. It's Kershaw. It's Walker Buehler. It's Tony Gonsolin. They probably have other. I think Ryan Yarbrough starts for them. James Paxton, who said at some point we were like, I don't even know if he's going to make that team.
Yeah,
is starting every 5th day.
Yeah, Gavin Stone started.
No, Stone's fine. He could be for now. When they're healthy, he's not in the rotation.
You're right.
When everybody's there, Gavin Stone doesn't crack it. However, he should have started the season as the 5, which we predicted.
Yeah.
But now you add, and instead of it just being Stone, and then you have a longer reliever in Yarbrough or Paxton, it's Glasnow, Yamamoto, Paxton, Stone, Yarborough.
Yeah.
Woof. Like you're the Dodgers, so that lineup is going to take you far. But you go into a weekend series with those bottom three, and you're like, huh.
Ooh,
we're going to have to score. We're going to have to put up 6.
Is that what happened against the Nationals? That's
I don't know. But that's how it feels, though, right? When you think about it, you're like, okay, we got to put up some runs today. And they do.
Yeah.
Shohei's a monster.
Dude, Mookie's playing so good this year, too.
Yeah. And it's not because he's breaking out entirely, but with Ohtani there, it's just not. Ohtani's hitting thunder sticks.
Man.
Let's go to everybody else, though.
Okay,
the
yeah.
Dodgers
So,
are the Dodgers. Let's stop gawking at them. We know that they're going to be there. See you in the playoffs. We'll figure it out then.
All right, so the Padres, they're hanging around.
I like them.
Talked about Cease.
They're fun.
So I was down on the Padres because I felt like the last couple of years we've seen a downward trajectory in a way because they had all this momentum, all this new young talent that was going to be world beaters. Soto joined them like, oh, they're going to be unstoppable.
Well, yeah.
And that didn't happen.
Vibes were off.
Vibes were way off. But obviously he goes to New York. Vibes seem to be good there. And now the Padres seem to be gelling where they are. So who knows who was wrong, who was right, why that happened, but it seems to be working out for both parties involved. So, the Padres look good. They look real good. And you know what? We were concerned. No, I'm sorry. That was the Brewers. So their closer over there, the Padres, I forget his. You have
Suarez.
Looking awesome. He's leading the league in
he was supposed
saves.
to be,
He's looking great.
Yeah, he's a little older. He was supposed to be the guy a couple years ago. And I don't recall if they gave him a shot or like in the times that he got in middle relief, he just wasn't good.
Yeah.
He almost blew it, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And then when you have Josh Hader, you're not. I know we didn't talk about him as a bad put, but he stinks right now too. Josh Hader.
Everybody stinks on that team right now.
I told you I wasn't afraid of him.
Yeah.
Anyway, Suarez pitching well. You talked about Dylan Cease. They're keeping them in games, and the lineup's doing enough.
Yeah.
They could be deep if those role guys perform. Jake Cronenworth hasn't done shit in 2 years since he signed that contract. He's playing a little better. So that lineup gets a little deeper.
Yeah.
They insert Jackson Merrill, who's been a spark. I don't think he's been as good as he was in the season, but I think he's doing pretty well overall.
Yep.
So he's a guy, insert him 8-9, turn the lineup over. Now you got Tatis, you got Machado. Kim is breaking out like crazy.
Kim's playing really well.
I like them. I have no...
Yeah, they're definitely a team
and they could rub you the wrong way because a lot of people don't like Machado. I love Machado.
Right.
Same with Tatis.
Yeah, I was going to say Tatis. Well, I guess Tatis is more... People like him more than Machado because, I mean, he's a little more flamboyant, but he's not as like a... Machado's more like an asshole. Tatis is just arrogant, I think is why people like Tatis and not Machado. I don't know. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, it's odd. That's all.
Yeah.
But
the team works, obviously.
Yeah, they're doing enough. We forgot they have Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah. No, he's playing good too. He's on my fantasy team. He's playing well.
I don't know. The rotation doesn't scream like we're super successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Musgrove isn't pitching very well. I'm looking as I'm talking. This is bad, but
no, it's totally fine.
Michael King, I think is okay, but I don't love him. I told you that from the get-go.
Yep.
So they're scoring runs and winning some games too. Let's move on.
Okay.
Diamondbacks.
This is the most interesting thing I've seen.
Padres?
No, the Diamondbacks.
Okay, go.
All right, so the Diamondbacks are under 500. They're 12-14.
Yep.
Their run differential, I wrote this down. This is in the book of Andrew.
All right.
They're below 500. They have a run differential of plus 35. That's second best in the National League, only behind the Atlanta Braves.
They just beat the shit out of somebody.
It's better than all of the AL East and all of the AL West. Like, so they are a sub 500 team with a run differential of plus 35. It's very bizarre that they aren't winning more games. And then maybe they had a couple really, really big games, I guess, but that team is putting up, when they're playing well, they're playing really well. They're scoring a lot. But when they're losing, they're barely losing. So I think this team has the ability to really challenge the Padres, and I don't know the Dodgers per se, but I don't think we can sleep on this team at all. I think that there's a lot there that they're just, they're not putting it together. But that was one of the weirdest stats I saw when I was looking at all the teams. Most of this stuff's like, your run differential for the most part. I know I've mentioned it a lot, but it's a good indicator about how well a team is playing. And this is just one of those teams that, the win-loss does not match up to the differential.
The run differential is bullshit. So this is why. They beat the Giants 17-1.
Okay.
On the 19th. And yesterday, they beat the Cardinals 14-1.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just bludgeoning people every once in a while. Every 2 weeks, they're just like, screw you. We're just going to be. And every other win's like, they beat the Yankees 7-0.
Yeah.
There's all your run differential.
Well, I mean, it definitely makes up a lot of it, but it is an anomaly. And
sure.
I'm trying, like I said, that was the most interesting stat I saw from.
It's an interesting stat, but I wanted to debunk it.
Okay, that's fine.
I had the shit on you.
That's fine.
But overall, we liked them, right?
Yeah.
We
Marte's playing out of his mind, even though
he's having a really good year.
And
I
Carroll's
like him.
not, and
Carroll
if Carroll can turn it around,
Christian Walker's ho humming.
Yeah.
No, he's playing well. He's fine.
Yeah,
and I don't think Suarez is doing well for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
I will say
Gurriel is doing for them. So they're banged up,
Mm-hmm.
and they just took another hit in Merrill Kelly being down.
right.
They do have Gallen. They did. Montgomery started today. He lost. However, Montgomery's getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, Fat does not look good. His ERA is barely under 5 right
He's
now.
not. He's best when the lights are bright, baby.
Yeah,
give him a postseason start, and he'll give you.
Kelly was pitching really well.
Kelly's good.
His ERA was 2.19, and Gallen's sitting at 3 even. But that's it. Everybody else is 4 over. So their pitching is definitely not lights out. I think Montgomery can really come in and really change some things.
He's going to have to. At least till Merrill comes back.
I don't think this team is out of the question.
No.
Out of the conversation.
It's a long season, but we're a month in now. It's time. You can't just be like, oh, they'll turn it around. We're close to 15% of the way through the season.
This is. We're at the point that we have an indication of how things are going to continue.
You
right?
can't dig a hole.
Yeah.
Because the Central keep doing what they're doing. We had 3 teams coming out of the West.
Yeah. I'm
right now. There might not be
that may not
any.
Happen. Yeah.
Or, whatever. The Dodgers. The last team, which fits the bill, like you said, they're all the same, is the Giants. Mm-hmm. And I wrote, the Giants feel worse than the D-backs, but it's the same record.
The same record. You ready?
Go ahead.
Minus 20 run differential.
They must have got beat 18. Oh, yeah.
With the Diamondbacks beat them 17-1.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, there we go. We figured it out. So it's the exact same team. Hold on. I'm going to look up some stats. You keep
and
talking.
I liked what the Giants did. They had money. They spent it. Snell just went on the IL. He clearly either wasn't working hard this offseason or just another freak injury. That sounds shitty to say, right? I don't know anything about Blake Snell. Never met the guy in my life. But from an outsider perspective of you wait all off season till the last minute to sign, and now 2 or 3, I don't even know how many starts he made. Let's say 3 starts in, you're banged up.
Snell made 3 starts.
You have to go on the IL. And those stats weren't very good either.
No, his stat lines, his ERA is 11.
It's horrendous.
57.
So
12 Ks.
And maybe it is because he was hurt, but is he hurt because he wasn't doing anything?
Yeah.
It leads to a bigger question. I probably wrong for accusing him of that, but that's where my head went immediately.
Yeah.
They do have Logan Webb. That guy's a stud.
Webb and Hicks.
Love him.
Yeah,
he was
your outbreak.
Love Jordan Hicks.
Hicks is pitching his ass off. 1.61 ERA. K per 9 sitting at, only 5.8, but still that's not bad.
He toned it down. If he was a reliever, it'd be like 15.
His WAR is 1.1.
Love that.
Webb's is 1.5. Webb is pitching his ass off too. So
he's a horse, man.
Dude,
he's been there.
So if Snell comes back and figures it out, this team's a problem.
If
those other 2 guys pitch
weird.
well. No, I'm just saying, if they have 3 guys pitching at that level, if Snell figures it out, that's tough to keep up with in general. So,
I know you love old timey things.
Let's go.
Logan Webb is your prototypical workhorse
I agree.
pitcher.
Yeah.
He is what you want. When everybody's like, nobody does this, look no further than Logan Webb.
Yeah.
So, quick couple stats. 2022, 192 innings, 2.9 ERA. 2023, 216 innings, 3.25 ERA. And this year, he leads the league in innings pitched, Major League Baseball. That's at 38.2 with a 2.33 ERA. Hopefully he stays healthy, because when he is, he's very good and deserves to be in that Cy Young conversation all the time.
Yeah.
He's devouring innings at a very high level. He's not your normal innings eater. He is your workhorse guy. A lot of credit to him. I hope that the West picks it up, because personally I like them a little bit more than
those teams are more fun to watch.
Like, I like them more than the Brewers.
Yeah,
like
the Brewers,
those types of teams. The Reds could be fun. But they're not all there.
Yeah,
the Reds will be more fun when everybody's healthy and
Agreed.
moving along. The Cubs, I'm torn on.
We'll
see.
Tradition. I love the Cubs. Love Wrigley. I want the Cubs to be good.
All right.
Baseball's better when they're good. So okay. Last thing before we So who leads them, the Giants, in WAR batting? You're never
Michael
going to
Conforto.
guess. No. Conforto's like not even like 1, 2, 3. He's like their 6. He's a 0.3.
Oh.
This guy leads with 1.1 WAR.
Who?
It is Patrick Bailey, their catcher.
Oh, he's probably getting way too much for catching.
I thought that was interesting. Matt Chapman's second at 1.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. See, that's what I mean.
So
Chapman probably has 0.8 defensive or something.
Yeah.
His credit for WAR can be flawed depending on.
It can be, but they're the only guys in batting that are.
Conforto is having a good year though.
Yeah, Conforto's doing pretty good. Ahmed is 0.6, Wade Jr. is 0.5, Lee is 0.4, and then Conforto is 0.3. Okay. So, but anyways, and then there's the Rockies, and we don't need to talk about those guys. They suck. All right, so let's get into the series we're looking forward to this weekend, and then we will call it a show.
All right.
This has been a great episode, Chris.
So far, so good.
Doing
well, don't screw it up now.
I'm going to try not to. All right, series of interest this weekend. I have 3 that I want to talk about.
Hit me.
The first one is the battle of the second of their divisions. 2 teams that are playing really well. It's the San Diego Padres and the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay.
Here's a problem I had with picking games this weekend. Every pitcher's TBD. Practically. So there's not a
teams haven't set their rotations yet.
I looked on MLB.com to find a pitching matchup. Couldn't find a single one. Maybe it's because it's Wednesday. I don't know, but I couldn't find a single one. So
we're a day early. This won't happen again.
This won't happen again, hopefully. So I'm interested in that series. I think it'll be a fun one. Both these teams are playing well. I hope San Diego runs Rackshaw all over the Phillies. The second one is Battle of Division Leaders. It's the Yankees versus the Brewers. I think that this is kind of a show us what you got type of series, because both of those teams are leading their division, but I don't think either of them expected to. I mean, the Yankees probably expected to, but the Orioles have been the hot team everyone's talked about. No one talked about the Brewers leading their division. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be an interesting series going into the weekend. And then the last one, it is a homer pick, but this is the 2 best teams in baseball as of right now, based on record, run differential, all that kind of stuff. The 2 hottest teams are the Atlanta Braves and the Cleveland Guardians. And I can't wait to watch these games all weekend. It's going to be tough because the Guardians look good. The Guardians look real good. So
they are.
It'll be that's probably the one I look forward to the most. Obviously, there's biases there, but you can't argue with those are the 2 best teams in baseball.
Oddly enough. All 3, that whole series has their pitching lined up. So
hit me with it. Okay,
they played hang on.
They
don't. Okay, so they play Friday,
Saturday,
3
Sunday.
Game series.
Yep.
Allen first, Chris Sale.
Okay.
Tyler Bybee first, Charlie Morton.
Okay.
And Ben Lively,
bottom of our rotation.
Ben Lively, Jesus Christmas. First, Bryce Elder.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're here for the matchup. Bats.
Yeah, it's going to be all bats because those pitching matchups don't blow me away. But I mean, we're going to have to score runs to keep up with the Guardians for sure. So
and I've got 2. One I wasn't going to call out, and then I thought about it a little more. Gino Suarez coming back to Seattle. Everybody's gonna be happy for him. Gino's a great player. Everybody loved him. Happy-go-lucky guy. But Mariners D-backs, we do have to face Zach Gallen game 1. I don't know who's on the bump for Seattle. I want to say it's going to be Emerson Hancock because Castillo is going Thursday.
Okay.
Gilbert threw.
So where's Gilbert? Yeah.
No, Gilbert threw yesterday.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to get either of your
Miller.
guys.
Maybe it's Kirby. It's Kirby.
Okay.
It's Gallen. And if so, that's the game of the weekend.
I agree.
The pitching matchup of the weekend.
I completely agree. Yeah.
In terms of two teams I want to see, Central Division matchup of the ho-hum middle of the order or middle of the pack, Royals Tigers.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
We're unfortunately not, at least this series, not getting Scooball Reagans against each other. Reagans throwing Thursday.
Yep.
Scooball, I think, Sunday. But let's just see what they've got.
Yeah.
If maybe the Tigers take over and say, screw you, maybe it's I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And I want them to be good games. I wouldn't mind seeing the Tigers kind of break through.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, they're similar style teams. So just a fun inter-division matchup to watch there. I don't have anything really negative. I think like who's playing Marlins?
There's
four teams.
There's a couple pillow fight weekend series, which I want to make sure we call out because I think it's funny. Nationals Marlins.
Yep.
Pillow fight. I mean, no one cares about those. Sorry,
maybe the Nats sweep.
They could. Obviously, the Marlins are playing real bad. So it is within the realm of possibility. I think the other one I wanted to I thought there was another one that was really embarrassing. Let's see here. Yes. Rockies, Astros.
Oh wow.
Pillow fight. So
when do they play?
They're Saturday. Yeah. I think there's a they're in the Mexico City series. Astros Rockies.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Because I was just looking, I was like, I do not see them on Friday.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, because they're both flying in. Yeah, they're on the MLB World Tour. Yeah.
At least. Okay, let's back up.
Oh boy.
They're the Astros. They're Mexico City. Makes sense. Sure.
Rockies.
Fucking Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, Rockies doesn't make any sense.
You kidding me?
Hey,
that's the team you want to.
That's the product you want to put down there. I mean.
That was like NFL sending the Jags like 6 years ago to Europe, and you're like, "Yo, what is this?
Why are we doing this?
I'm supposed to be excited about this? They're gonna score 4 points. Like who the hell thinks of it? Like people have to pass this. Like this isn't just something somebody makes.
Yeah,
up.
that's a very specific thing. That no, we're gonna pick these two teams.
Rockies.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very strange. So maybe that's interesting.
Isn't it? Oh wait. Isn't there like isn't Mexico City like a big? Isn't that elevated? Isn't that like an elevation thing?
I have
too?
no idea, Chris. I mean,
Geography.
someone's yelling at us for being dumbasses. I'm
not even gonna look it up.
I'm not looking it up either.
I'm gonna say because Colorado's used to the altitude. That's why we're going to Mexico City. That's it. It's no mas.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining us.
No mas was not pun intended. Actually, how about that?
I love it.
Shit.
Anyways, we're gonna stop podcasting before we get in trouble. Anyways, my name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
And we're the Coach's Sons Podcast.